Hey everyone, blessings and welcome. In this video, I will be discussing thriving in difficult times. We're at a very interesting point in human history where we are going through this major shift. At the time that I'm recording this video, we're about to enter the mid-2020s. And I think the changes that are going to be happening just around the globe, globally in every country, is going to shape the next 100 years of humanity on this planet if we last here that long. And much of it is going to come through what's going to happen in the next 10 to 15 years. And a lot of us are already feeling the shift and the change. And for many of us, it's very unsettling. So we're seeing all of these geopolitical events and just things that are happening in every country, not just here in the U.S., just all around the globe. And we've got to get ready. We've got to get ready because the changes that are coming, they're going to usher in some very challenging times. Some difficult times, and we have to be ready and prepared for these times. This week, God reminded me about some of the things that he did for me personally in my life, and when I was going through some very, very challenging times, and times where there was external things happening in, the economy, things happening politically that were really bad. There was a downturn. And God reminded me about those times and how, although things were looking bad in the U.S., things were looking bad in countries globally, things were looking bad economically, things were even looking bad for me personally, financially, and I didn't know how God was going to do it. He reminded me that he was a shield. He reminded me that although things were bad on the outside and externally, that it did not impact me. He shielded me from a lot of the difficult times and the pain and the problems that come with difficult times when, it's happening in the environment around us in ways that are outside of our control. So I'm doing this video for you out there just to let you know that as we move toward the future, I personally don't think that things are going to get better. I think there are going to be more challenges ahead. And if they do get better, it's going to take some time. But we're going to be in for, an interesting ride the next 10 to 15 years. So I want you to know, as a reminder, although these things are coming and we're feeling it now, certain things have already changed and transpired and it's had a negative impact. I want to remind you that if you stay connected to God, and if you stick to your journey of healing and your journey of growing spiritually, you'll be able to not only survive, but thrive in these difficult times. So I'm going to share with you in this video 5 things that you can do to thrive and to navigate the difficulties that are ahead. And they are coming. I'm not doing this video to scare you. I'm doing this video to prepare you. So if God did it for me and did it for others, he can definitely do it for you. And you can be blessed in the storm. So number 1, thriving in difficult times, have a plan. Come up with a plan. because there are people in power that have plans for all of us. There are people in positions who have plans for all of us, and those plans are not going to be good. Some of those plans are not going to be in our best interest. So I want you to have a personal plan for yourself, a plan for your family, a plan for the future, because having a plan is going to keep you grounded. And after you make out that plan of your goals, the things you want to do, the things that you're working toward, how you want your life to look, even if things are looking scary out there in the world, just know that if you take that to God, God might tweak it in a way where sometimes we aim a little low and God might have a little bit more for us. So be open with the plan. Just know that we have plans, but God has the final say. He says that in his word, but definitely have a plan and have some aim and direction for your life, because that's going to help you as we go through these times. It's going to help you to stay grounded. It's going to give you something positive to focus on. And sometimes we wonder where we're going to get the resources when resources is short. And, but if you don't have a plan to do better, you won't. And basically, if you don't have a plan, you're going to fall victim to whatever is happening externally. It's going to begin to seep into your life and really have an impact on you when you don't have a plan. You're going to get sucked into whatever's happening around you, on the outside. So definitely stick to your plan. It's going to keep you grounded. It's going to keep you focused, and it's going to give you something to work toward. And that's going to help you in thriving in difficult times. So people who don't have plans, they end up becoming victims, and they end up suffering more than they should. And that doesn't mean that we won't go through our own challenges during challenging times or difficulties, but it does give us some padding of protection when we have a plan. Number 2, thriving through difficult times, have a stress outlet and be consistent with getting that out. So definitely have some sort of stress outlet. It definitely helps during times of unrest and times of uncertainty, and because that does bring stress, it brings anxiety, it brings worry. So have a stress outlet, a positive stress outlet, something that's not going to be detrimental or addictive. So, for instance, and stick with the plan. So for instance, for me personally, my stress outlets, is, along the spiritual lane, meditation, prayer, that helps me out, also using my creativity, so that would be me and my artwork, my writing. Those are all outlets that help me with my stress, getting out in nature, going for, those nature walks. Those are all of the things. Exercising, although I hate going to the gym, but, I always feel better after a good workout. So whatever your stress outlet is, it could be gardening, it could be knitting, it could be, some other hobby that you have, that's positive. Definitely have a plan for that. Be consistent with your stress outlet, and it's going to help you with releasing, the stress, because if you have a lot of stress, and things that are building up on the inside, is going to stop you from being productive, and it's actually going to make you more sad about the things that are going on, more depressed, more anxious. So when you're able to get that, that negative energy out, that nervous energy out, it will help to cleanse your soul. It will help to free you up spiritually. It'll give you a clearness of thought, and it will help you in so many different ways, and also help your overall health, right? Because if we're stressed and we're worrying all the time, that can have a negative physical impact on our bodies, right? That's the type of thing that'll bring your immune system down, and that'll get you physically sick. Being constantly exposed to stress. So you got to get that out and figure out, have a consistent outlet for your stress. Number 3, thriving in difficult times. Do not spend time focusing on the negatives. So if you're the type of person you're checking your social media, consistently, there are algorithms and, things that, that will really bring you down a rabbit hole of negativity, right? So, they'll put things in your feed, regardless of what platform that you're on. Unfortunately, that will feed into your fears. You're watching something, you're listening to a podcast, you're watching TV, and, there's a lot of negativity in the news media, some of the conversations that, people are having, that are in our social groups, if it's negative, stay away from it. Right. So don't spend time focusing on what's going on wrong, regardless of how bad it looks, especially if you don't have any control over it. All you can do is pray and hope for the best. And if there's something that you can immediately do in your community, or if your sphere of influence, definitely do it. That could be, that can make a positive impact. Do what you can, but don't focus on the negative things that are going to be happening, because there's going to be more negative things to come, more things to come that are going to be difficult, and more things to come that are going to be scary. So, but don't, and I know it's easier said than done, but don't focus on these things, because they're going to be a major distraction. They're going to keep you away from your plan, and they're going to stress you out. Right. And they're just going to have a negative impact on your life. So do not spend time focusing on the negatives. Spend time focusing on the positives and, what could go right, in the current climate. So do not dedicate yourself to the negative things that are being said, and even the things that you are seeing, right? And that's not to say that you should be living on a cloud and not living in reality and not paying attention to what's going on around you. Definitely pay attention, but don't focus on it, especially focus on things that, you can't really control. So don't spend time on the negatives and focusing on the negatives, because it does not help you, not one bit. And it doesn't change anything. So that's the reasons why you shouldn't be doing it. So if you don't spend time focusing on the negatives, then, that will help you to thrive in, the environment, our current climate, and what's to come. Number four, stay in God's face. Your connection to God, your connection is going to be your protection. So the closer that we get to God and the more we stay in God's face, the more empowered we will become spiritually, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, and even physically. God will shield you and protect you. Stay in his face during these times. Stay connected to God. Don't become part of the committee and part of the people who, when things go bad, they immediately blame God for it, when it is God who has given management of the earth to human beings. And when human beings make mistakes, there are consequences, right? So there are laws there that, God has put into place. We, the managers on earth, we make mistakes, we do evil. There's going to be consequences that come with it, right? But instead of focusing on, the consequences and the things that human beings have done to make the conditions and, the things that are the problems that we see on earth here today, people want to blame that on God, where God has put the power of management and managing the earth to us. And we mismanage it. We abuse things. We destroy the environment. We cause problems socially. We oppress people. So yeah, human beings, for the most part, are the issue. So don't become part of the committee that automatically blames God for these things. Get connected to God, and God will show you and give you divine guidance on how to navigate and get through these times. It's important to stay connected. Your connection is going to be your protection. It is possible that when all hell breaks loose, you'll be shielded from the fire. I have been in those situations time and time again. It's possible during times of economic downturn and when people are losing their jobs and there are no resources around, that you'll continue to eat and even prosper and even make more money during these hard times. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. It's something that God does, and he does it well. Stay in his face, stay connected to him, and you'll see some miracles in your life. So your connection will be your protection, and it's going to be the key to your thriving through difficult times. And finally, this is it right here. This is really it. Learn to adapt to change. Those who are not able to adapt to change and move with the flow and what's going on suffer the most. And there are going to be so many changes with that technology is going to bring about. There's going to be so many changes politically. There's going to be so many changes in the way that we do life in the next 10 to 15 years. It's going to blow your mind. And if you're not able to adapt to the changes, you're going to have a real hard time. And some people out there are not going to make it because they're not going to be able to adapt to the changes, and it's going to have a very, very negative and detrimental impact on them. And I don't want you to be part of that crowd. So if you're the type of person and you know you have a hard time adapting to change, definitely start praying to God to help you through these times and to help you to adapt to the change, and for God to give you guidance and to guide you to what to do next. I've definitely been in positions where during tough times in the country and in my community and also financially and in different aspects of my life and personally, and God has given me specific directives as to what to do next. God will do that for you. He will tell you exactly what to do, how to save your money, where to move, what job to take, what people to connect with, how you should serve your community, and the things that you do most to help. God will tell you how to do all of that. But we've got to learn to listen, and we have to be open and flexible and be able to adapt to the changes that are coming, because it's going to really be mind blowing out there. So yeah, those are the things that I believe you can do to thrive in these difficult times. We are in for a big shift in the 2020s. We're definitely in for a big shift globally, and it's going to be felt all around the world. And I want you all to be ready. So have a plan, have a consistent stress outlet. Don't spend time focusing on the negatives. Stay connected to God, stay in God's face, and learn to adapt to change. I hope what I shared in this video is helpful to you in some way, especially as we're approaching a new year, as you think about, the future and the things that you want to do ahead. Keep these things in mind as we move toward the next phase and the next stages of our existence on this planet. Take care. God bless. And I will see you in the next video.